Here's a little bit about how to use your calculator to graph piecewise functions. We'll go ahead and do one right here. So let me clear these guys out. So if I want to do a piecewise function, usually I'm given two separate pieces on different domains. So say something where x is less than 1, or something else where x is bigger than or equal to 1, or something along those lines. So I'm going to go ahead and pick a couple of functions here. So let's say we want to do x squared, where x is bigger than 1, and we want to do, we'll use x is less than 1. And then we're going to want to do, let's say, the square root of x, where x is bigger than or equal to 1. Alright, so graphing those two right there, I can go ahead and hit graph, and I see the two pieces, but it shows me all of the graph, not just the piece that I want. So it makes it a little bit difficult to tell where I'm going to stop, where I'm going to start, things like that. So it looks like, I can, start right there at 1, but I do have to kind of guess at where it's going to cut off, and stuff like that. So if you want to be able to see just the pieces that you want, you can also do this little trick right here with the test menu. So the test menu is the second and then 2 down on the math button. You'll see right in there in yellow or blue, or sort of depends on what calculator you have, the color. But it should say test right above that math button. Alright, so let's go ahead and do a division. So I'm going to divide by, in parentheses, x, and then whatever your case may be, less than, greater than, less than or equal, greater than or equal, but all of those can be found in the test menu. Alright, so the test menu has all of these operators that are right here. So let's go ahead. We said this was going to be less than 1. I'm going to just hit enter on the less than and then the 1. Alright, so there's my first one. So I got x squared and then divided by that group right there, that x less than 1. For the second one, go ahead and do that as well. We have the square root of x, and then this one is divided by x greater than or equal to 1. So again, I need to type in my x, and then for that greater than or equal, just go second, and then the math button brings up that test menu, and we'll go to greater than or equal, number 4, hit enter, and greater than or equal to 1. Alright, close parenthesis. And what this is going to do is this test gives me a value of 1 when it's true and 0 when it's false. So if it's 1, dividing by 1 keeps everything the same. If it's 0, dividing by 0 is not going to graph it because I can't divide by 0. So this has the effect of a piecewise function where I have everything defined on this domain right here where x is less than 1 when that's a true statement. And then when it's not true, or outside my domain, it's not going to show anything. So we'll go ahead and graph that and see what happens. Alright, so there's that parabola up through 1, and then right there the parabola cuts off and that square root function takes over. So that's what we can see right there. These two happen to be connected. You don't always have to have connected pieces for this to work. Let's go ahead and change this to say x squared plus 1. Alright, and then graph. Alright, so now you'll see those are separated just a little bit. For any of these, if I want to calculate a value, say at those endpoints, right, so that's the same thing as plugging in 1, seeing what each of those is. So I go to the second trace to calculate the value at x equals 1, hit enter, and it shows me for that first function x is 1, y is nothing. That's because I had a hole. I said I don't really want x to be equal to 1. Right. If I go to the other function, it does show me a value because I have the equal sign right there. So it doesn't show you open circles and closed circles like we normally want on our graph, but you can get those values depending on if you have the equal sign or not equal sign. Sometimes I like to always just put in the equal so I can get the endpoint anyway, and then know if it's supposed to be open or closed on my own. So just a few tips on the piecewise graphing there. Hope that helps.